are the bodies of 3 men buried in unmarked graves in Regina's beautiful Wascana Park. According to research by historians Frank Korvemaker and Kenton de Jong, this section of the park, the site of the former Northwest Territorial Jail and Lunatic Asylum, is the final resting place of 3 men, 2 of whom were hanged for murder, while the third died of tuberculosis. Today I share the story of the first man to be hanged, Antonio Luciano. At 8:13 a.m., on the morning of Thursday, May the 10th, 1894, Antonio Luciano, an Italian musician, was hanged at the Old Northwest Territorial Jail and Lunatic Asylum in Regina for the murder of a fellow countryman, scissors grinder Giovanni Pettarella, whose decomposing body was found near Grenfell, Saskatchewan, on June the 22nd, 1893. In spite of decomposition, Pettarella's skull was found to have been crushed in. Luciano was buried in the grounds of the former jail, now Regina's Wascana Park. Pettarella had been seen in the company of 2 fellow countrymen, Luciano and Antonio Luciano, itinerant musicians. Luciano played the clarinet, his partner the bagpipes, the pair being arrested in Winnipeg on June the 26th. The musicians had $300 in their possession, while a large sum of money Pettarella had been carrying was not found with his corpse. As well, Luciano was arrested wearing a battered hat similar to one worn by Pettarella, while the Regina leader claimed that one of the accused had been wearing Pettarella's coat. Luciano and Luciano both came from a small village 50 miles north of Naples and would send money home to their families. On February the 10th, 1894, a Grenfell jury found them guilty of murder on purely circumstantial evidence. When the sentence of death was pronounced upon him, Luciano fell to the floor, weeping. Both men continued to proclaim their innocence, but a few days prior to the execution, Luciano confessed and claimed that he alone murdered Pettarella. As a result, Luciano's sentence was commuted to life in prison, and Luciano went to the gallows alone, but retracted his earlier admission of guilt. On the scaffold, Luciano said, "I die innocent, like Jesus Christ. He died for everybody. I die for my partner Luciano. I made the confession so that both might not die. We are both innocent. I am a stranger in a strange country. No one believes me but Jesus. Goodbye. I no kill the man." Was Luciano innocent? The scaffold, which stood 12 feet high, was built for the execution and contained parts from the gallows which had hanged Louis Riel. Luciano was the 7th man hanged in Regina. As for Luciano, he would be released from prison on April the 22nd, 1902, and presumably return to Italy. I know I would have. The primary source for today's video was the chapter, The Scissors Grinder, from Boiling Point and Cold Cases, Boiling Point and Cold Cases, by journalists Barb Pacholik and Jana G. Pruden. All other sources from the contemporary press are listed in the description. As well, I've also put links to Frank and Kenton's research on the jail and the buried men in the description. The footage you see is me walking in that section of Wascana Park near where Luciano is buried. I hope you will consider subscribing to The Gallows, where we explore Canadian murder cases which ended on the scaffold. And remember, if you're born to hang, you'll never be shot. Cheers.